Here we go. I'm deciding on our schedule for March, April, and May. And that can get a little tricky. But anyway, you will get a letter in your email, probably Sunday sometime, that gives you the new schedule because today marks the end of our 3 months getting us through the winter kind of a thing. So here we go. Are you ready? Of course. My dogs are in their beds. Everything's good. What do I have? I have a gallon jug and a gallon jug. So if you can fill up 2 gallons of any kind of a container, I like these because I can carry them very well with that little handle, and they're pretty thick. They're a thick plastic. If you want to be more functional and you want something as simple as can be, the most simple thing that I can tell you to do if you want to maintain bone, maintain muscle, is get very proficient at doing carries. That's what I'm doing right now to warm up. As you see, I'm walking back, and I might add, I'm taking about 3 or 4 steps. Then I'm taking about 3 or 4 steps back. I'm going to do a variation of all kinds of foot patterning, I call it. But right now, on the get-go, if you want to get warmed up, and if you want to notify your bones, especially your vertebrae, that you're fixing to carry something, then pick something up that lets your frame know that it's in fact carrying a load. So that's why I'm starting out with 10 and 10. So right now, hanging from my fingertips, and see, I'm not gripping them. I'm hanging them from my fingertips, and I'm walking front to back. My guess is, since you got up this morning, you've done some forward walking. Many of you have not done backward walking. As a matter of fact, backward walking gets you a little nervous, and it should. So that's why you'll see, you see me raising my heel, exaggerated heel raising. That's a very smart thing to do. What you don't want to do is trip on something. And do you know what you trip on mostly? When I've had people doing, or when I've observed people doing backward walking, many times, probably the majority of the time, they will trip on their own feet. Okay, now right now, as you walk back, what you have to know and what you have to be aware of is when you start walking back, and some of you even walking forward with a carry. So I'm hoping that you have something, whether it be a weight in your hands or 2 jugs, 2 bags, something. The minute you start doing this carry, especially walking backward as we are doing right now repeatedly, stay with me on this. This is kind of an important move to our class today. You raise your shoulders and you don't even realize that you're hunching. So I'm saying, drop your shoulders, say rib cage up, soften your knees. As you start to go back, your frame will really benefit from you slowing down and being aware that that is what we do, especially if you've had some close calls, especially if you've tripped on something. and had to catch yourself, or you didn't catch yourself and you actually fell. But just realize the propensity to drag and not pick our feet up is one of the biggest causes of tripping and falling. Okay, so now I've got my shoulders down. I'm taking big deep breaths through my nose. I'm doing repeated walking forward, and I started going a little too fast. So I slowed myself down, because when I'm walking, I tend to wobble on this side, and I'm trying not to do that, or I start to lean into this side because this is my hip replace side. That is the leg that is shorter. So it's very difficult to straighten your walk if in fact one leg is shorter than the other. And so you correct it as much as you can. How do I do that? I put lifts in my shoe. Yeah, then you have to go through the whole pain and torture of getting correct shoes. That is the way it is. You know, you can cry all the time about it, but it ain't gonna change things. So you try to manage it, and you try to do it in as healthy a way as possible. So why do I emphasize, make sure that if you're wobbling or leaning way too much on one side, people maybe have told you, why are you limping, or why are you wobbling? Then pay attention, because it is very important to straighten out your walk, or to keep working at it. I'll say that. We may not straighten it out completely, but we'll keep working at it. Okay, now that I've gone front to back and I'm carrying like I've been doing, I'm gonna step forward and I'm gonna rotate that back leg, and I'm gonna do it again. See that? So now I'm gonna prep the heel. I'm gonna prep the Achilles. I'm gonna prep the plantar fasciitis. I am carrying 20 pounds plus my own weight. I know, don't you wanna know how much? I don't care. Yeah, that's coming down on your spine. So don't minimize it. And then do your corrections. That's very important. So let me turn to the side, because some of you really and truly are doing this. You're stepping forward, you're doing good there, and you're bringing your heel up too much. So put your heel down, but you're leaning. Don't go into the lean, okay? Drop your shoulders, step, say rib cage up before you drop that back knee. See that? That's a huge deal right there, okay? Are you ready? Step, say rib cage up. So right now, drop the back knee, but you keep the heel down as your rib cage is up. That's very important. And then come back. So you do that a couple of times, okay? Then we're gonna go to the side, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna go to the side and come back. Now, I'm doing this with you without saying or prompting anything. I just want you to step to the side, okay? So right now we're displacing, meaning we're bringing our weight to the center. See this? I'm displacing so that it's not right here, and I'm gonna come up, because I wanna see how your hips are working. I want you to see how your hips are working. Say rib cage up. When you step to the side and you displace, do not lean in, not yet. Come back up, say rib cage up. Okay, loosen up your hands. You're just dropping your shoulders. You're not leaning, you're not leaning. Keep your chin tucked. Displace, do the step out displacement. See that? Then come in. So when I step out, the first thing anybody wants to do is this. Don't do it come back up, come back into the center. Then you're gonna step out and say rib cage up. Now you're displaced, okay? Okay, now we're not gonna displace through the hips. So what does that look like? That looks like this. Okay, now we do hip hinge. Now we do on purpose push the butt back, but I'm trying to maintain these carries. So I'm gonna push the butt back, come back up, okay? Those are two very different moves. And they make your spine work differently. They make your hips work differently, your knees work differently. So you gotta think about shoulders, and you've got carries, okay? I'm gonna step, and I'm not gonna displace. That means I gotta bend somewhere. See, if I'm gonna stay centered here, I gotta push my butt back. And I'm holding these back. I could bring them back down here. If that's gonna work for you, that's okay. I'm holding mine right here, right now, okay? So this whole first part of the class is really body mechanics 101. When do you hip hinge? When do you not? But whether you hip hinge or whether you do or don't, your back does not flex. It extends. So see, I'm really extending right now, and I'm coming back. I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna push that butt back. I'm gonna bring those weights down. Then I'm gonna come back up. I'm gonna stay right here, okay? Now we're gonna take it to the next level here in just a second, all right? So now I am gonna go the other way. I'm gonna step out, I'm gonna hip hinge, and this leg is gonna be the bender. And then I come back in. And I'm gonna step out and go into the step out, okay? And this leg gets left behind. Then I'm gonna come up, okay? And your hips and your knees and your back need to be able to do both of those moves. But you should be able to notice that when I step out and I go into the step, okay, I don't flex my back. I'm hip hinging. I'm coming forward from a hip hinge. That uses your back extensors totally differently. Okay, now I'm gonna step out, step wide, bring the weights to my carries to the center, put them right down there, okay? Bring my hands up, bring them out to a T, bring them up to a Y. My palms are up, and here's my question. If I were with you right this minute, when I went into the T, and then when you put your hands up, many of you brought your shoulders way up to your ears. Why do I know this? Because I know what slugs do. Drop your shoulders, bring your hands up to a Y, but keep your shoulders down. Y, T, and then W. And as I go into my W, my shoulders are down, but now my shoulder blades really go into my back, okay? This is a big deal for today's class. So go into your Y. Right now, take a big deep breath, say rib cage up, soften your knees a tiny bit. Then, go into a T, then go into a Y. Drop your shoulders right now. Drop your shoulders. Yes, drop your shoulders. Take a breath. Take a breath through the nose. Come back down to the T. Drop your shoulders again. Soften up your knees. Bring the elbows right into the side of you, right there. And your shoulder blades now are really going into your back, okay? Then you bring your hands down. You got it? Now we're gonna go down. Here's my carries. It could be your weights. Could be a can of food. So it could be a bag. So I'm gonna come down here, I'm gonna put my hands on my little carries right here. And for the first time now, I'm gonna place my hands on my carries and I'm gonna straighten my legs. I'm gonna bring my chest in to my legs. But here's the deal. I will not go down into my legs with my legs straight if I have any bend or flex in my back. Then in order to get up, I'm gonna go into a bent knee, and then I'm gonna come up. Then I'm gonna go into the T that we've already done. Pretend I'm right there. My hands are right now on your shoulders. They're on your shoulders. Drop those little suckers down, okay? Soften up your knees, drop your shoulders, T, go into a Y, keep your shoulders down, bring them back down to the T, then bring those elbows in, drop your shoulders, pull the shoulder blades back. So why am I hammering on this? Because Kay is in class today, that's why. Bring those elbows in, drop your shoulders. Sorry, Kay, I had to mess with you. Shoulders in. Now I'm gonna bend at the hip. My rib cage is up. Shoulders are down. I'm gonna go down, put my hands right on top of those carries, whether they're weights, whether they're a bag, whatever they are. Straighten my legs. Pull one toe up. Pull the other toe up. Pull other toe up. Put the other toe up. And we're doing a little bit of a swish. You're pushing your hips to the side. As you bring your toe up, then you go straight, then you come in, then you bend your knee and you come up. As you're coming up, you should feel the pressure move to the heels, okay? That's how you come up from a bend over. Drives me nuts, Chrissy, when I see gardeners out doing great work outside and their mechanics are gonna so sideline them. When you go down to bend to do some pulling, these bend. This doesn't. You hip hinge, you come down low, you get into the hip, you do whatever pulling you need to do. Then when you're ready to come up, you keep your knees bent and you push through your heels and you come up. Then you go back into that T. See? Back into the T. Bring it back into the W. As you're right here, your shoulders are down, your shoulder blades are in, and those hands, see, can slap your shoulders. Now, if you're doing all this, and yet when you slap, you can't get your hands into here, we got to do some work. So when you slap your shoulders, when you're in a W, and you bring those palms up, they should easily hit the deltoids, the shoulder. And if you're having a hard time getting them in there, there's something that we got to work on with our forward, our rounded shoulder forward, that whole mechanism. Okay, there's that. I have my chair here, okay? So before I go on to the next carry, I've got my pad on here. It might make it too high. So I'm gonna have you take the pad out. My carries are right here, okay? I'm gonna bring my hands back like this, my shoulders down. Now I'm gonna shift, practice it, shift from one side to the other side with the idea that you are going to put your foot right there, okay? So you're shifting, you're dropping into the hip, you're bringing your knee up, and you're putting it down, okay? So this little sequence that I'm doing right here is kind of a big deal. In locomotion, in keeping your balance, you've got the chair there to help you. Some of you need to do this against a wall so that you put your hand on a wall, have a pole in your hand. My objective is to get you to be able to shift, say rib cage up, get stable, bring the knee up, and put it down on the chair. But don't be leaning in. Okay, bring it up, put it back down. You got it? So I'm going to shift, feel the weight into all four corners of my foot. Know that I'm going to bring my knee up and put it down. Then I'm going to bring it back up and put my foot down. Shift. Okay, bent at the knee, bent at the hip, rib cage up, shoulders down. Take a big deep breath. Knee comes up. Have that landing, then come back down. Now, if you, this is the 1st of March. If every day you get your little body somewhere, I don't care where, walk around your house like we just did with holding something like carry, and just get a kitchen chair and go through a series of, or sets of this maneuver. See this? This maneuver right here. Do not hunch down. Say rib cage up, shift, bring your hands back here if you need to, bring that knee up, and then come back down. So I'm emphasizing shifting, rib cage up, bring the knee up, and put it down. If you need to put your hand on a wall to stabilize, that's fine. Do it lightly, have it there as an insurance. But get to where this month, this is your goal. You need to be able to do this 2 sets of 10. I will just say 2 sets of 10. I won't even go to 3 sets, okay? I can handle counting 2 sets of 10, I think. Okay, Kathy knows how many we've done right now. So I'm taking you through a very important strength move, functional move, balance move, maneuver right here. In shifting, ribcage up, take a breath, bring that knee all the way up, and then bring it all the way down, okay? Do not slide it off your chair. Shift, say ribcage up, hip hinge, here we go. Bring that knee up and put that leg down. Shift, bring the knee up, have your landing, back off, get stable, bring the knee up, and then put it down. Do not do this fast. So I'm just telling you, if you want to focus on what are the most 1 or 2 important moves I could do, this would be one of them. You know why? Because for momentarily, right now, do it with me, as I bring my leg up, and I don't rush to land it on my chair, but I'm holding it, I have to do a 1-leg stance, right? Then when I take it off, bring it up, before I put it down, I have to do what? A 1-legged stance. And if you do that 2 sets of 10, that's 20 times. And if you do it thoughtfully, tight tummy, drop your shoulders, shift, soften, bring the knee up, put your hand on a wall, a counter if you need to, but don't be so quick to put your foot on that chair. Tap it a little bit. See, tap it, and then come back down, okay? So I'm giving you little tiny nuanced things that will get you stronger. If you just go through 2 sets of 10 and you plop that foot right down and you don't demand that your body hold yourself in this position for just a second or 2, tap, tap, tap. Take a big breath, then come down. If you don't do that, this will just be, oh yeah, I got 2 sets of 10 of that done. And you did this. That does nothing for your strength, okay? So don't get into that. Stay with me. We're gonna do 10 more right now, okay? I'm gonna do every one of them. If I'm gonna do every one of them, you can, okay? I know you can. Yes, you can. Take a big deep breath, drop your shoulders, soften, bring your leg up and go tap, tap, tap. Hang out here for just a few seconds. If you want to, you can put your foot down, then go back, get ready to lift, put it down, shift. Stay with me, don't rush it. Just do this. Take a breath, shift. Here we go. We're gonna bring our knee up. We're gonna do tapping. See, there's the chair if I need it. This leg is soft. Supporting leg is soft. Hang out here for just a few seconds, then put your foot there, then back off. Bring it up, bring it down when you want to bring it down. So that's where somebody would say, well, how do I know I'm getting stronger? Number one, you're changing your brain. That's number one. Number two, your body is taking this whole weight on one leg. You're having to teach your one side shift. I'm doing it as I'm talking. See, I'm hanging out here for a bit. I'm trying to hold, manage all this weight, holding. Then I'll put the leg down. Then I'll shift. Then I'll line up, take a big breath, exhale. Some of you are holding your breath. Then I'll bring it down, shift, drop my shoulders, rib cage up, breath, leg up, tap, tap. Keep your knee soft down here. Don't hold your foot on the chair, just tap it. Okay, then come back down, shift, drop your shoulders, rib cage up. Here we go. Bring it all the way up. Tap, 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 tap. See, I'm just tapping, and then I bring it down when I want to bring it down. That's how you know. If you can hold on to it for a little longer, a little longer, a little longer. So I would rather you go through the shifting, lining up, bring the leg up, tap, hold, tap, hold your balance, tap, hold your balance, then bring the leg up, put it down, shift, rib cage up. So you line up first, bring that leg up, do your little taps if you need to. Try not to hang out there. Okay, take a breath. Take a breath. Keep your knee soft here. Supporting leg is soft. Tap, 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 tap. Then when you want to put it down while you're in control. Okay? So I'm thinking that we did pretty close to 2 sets. Okay, so do you see how I approached my carries? Did you see that? I came here and I stepped wide just because that's what I do when I'm going to carry something up, when I'm going to pick something up. Do not approach a carry like this, thinking you're going to be all, you don't want to draw too much attention to yourself. Forget that. When you're going to approach something that you're going to carry, you step wide. You swing that butt back. You come down, pull it in close to you, and then press. And she's up. So I just did a squat with 20 pounds. So here I go. I'm going to step a little wide. I'm going to hip hinge, put them down, go into a fly, bring them back, go into my heels, and come up. Then I'm going to go pull and pull. So anybody with shoulder issues, this is a great way to start loading through the shoulders and not pulling more injury. Okay, see this? That's why I like these jugs like this, because I can put my hand in it. I could do this on a bag. I could do it with my weights if you just have weights. So you're going to pull back, and then you're going to pull back. Now every time you pull back with your elbow, I want you to pretend something. Pretend I'm standing beside you. I'm behind you. And when you pull your elbow back, my hands are on your shoulder. Yes. Take a big breath, rib cage up, and it's a pull back. Keep your shoulders down and then come back down. This is a very important one to do with a gentle weight, and I call this a gentle weight. It's our carry that we picked up this morning. Take a breath, right there. Boom. See that? Drop your shoulders. Here we go. Pull. Bring her back. Pull. Drop your shoulders. Bring her back. Pull. Okay, now let's add the squat to that. You can do it in front of your chair if you want to, or you can just do it freestanding. It's whatever you want. In fact, I'll go over here to the chair and I'll do it with you. So here's my chair. I don't have the pad on here because we've already done a couple of squats. Okay? I'm gonna go into a squat with my 2 carries. This is 10 and this is 10. Okay? So I'm gonna go down. Here's my carries right here. And I'm gonna just touch the back part of my legs to the chair. But I'm not gonna sit down. Okay? Now, here's the first Waterloo. Here's the first challenge. As I come down, I'm exhaling. Then I'm gonna breathe and I'm gonna exhale and come up. Breathe, and then exhale. Take a breath, and exhale. Breathe, and exhale. Tap, breathe, and exhale. Okay? Don't get too caught up on it because we're doing one after the other. I'm not stopping. I'm shifting into my heels. I'm hanging onto that 10-pound weight, the carry. I'm taking breaths and I'm inhaling, exhaling. Inhale through your nose if possible, exhale through your nose if possible. Do not, that's the first Waterloo. Don't hold your breath. And if doing some moves like this, it's a sit to stand, it's a modified squat. Many of us have joints replaced, and getting lower many times is prohibitive. But in order to function in your world better, you better be pretty proficient at sitting and standing. Take a breath, drop your shoulders, hang on to that weight, breathe. When you go to stand up, you should have already taken your breath. When you go to sit down, you're exhaling. Now take a breath and then exhale. And as you're coming up, keep your shoulders down. Take a big breath, watch your knees. You're doing this with your body weight plus your carry, whatever you picked up. Mine just happens to be 20 because I have 10 and 10. So I'm doing the whole first part of this class is done with a very moderate carry. What do I mean by moderate? Well, see, for somebody like Nancy, it might be a bag full of merchandise, which includes some shoes. Okay. Sorry, Nance. So it needs to be something that your body says, oh, geez, she's gone grocery shopping or shoe shopping, or she's carrying around some mud or something outside for Chrissy. Okay, see how I'm gonna walk back? And what am I gonna do? If I start doing my normal walk right now, and I don't think about it, I'm gonna go into my hitching. I'm gonna go into that very telling leaning. So when I walk forward or backward, I want to use the muscles that need to be strengthened around that replaced hip. And what I always want to revert to is the leaning. Don't just be aware of so that you minimize it. See, I can't take it totally away, but man, can I minimize it by slowing down, thinking, where am I lining up right now? Keeping my tummy tight, breathing, dropping my shoulders, and not allowing myself to get into the knee jerk or the very thing that we do. We go too fast, out of the gate, too fast, and we start doing all those little wobbly, leaning moves, especially if you have joints replaced. Okay, go across your leg. I don't care which. Go across, and when you start to go across, what I'm wanting you to do is open up this hip flexor right here, okay? If you can do this with a couple of patterned foot placements, which is what we're doing right now. See, right now, I could bring my back heel up. I want to push my hips forward and open this. Yes. So if you have hips that are tightening up because of arthritis, because of arthritis, you know, many things, osteoporosis, whatever it is that causes you to have pain in your hips, or you just kind of feel it, trying to open this hip right here is a big deal. Now, right now, my knees are soft, okay? My hips are pushing forward, the front of my hips. This is called the iliac crest, right here. I'm pushing that forward as I drop my shoulders down, and I'm keeping my heels down. My knees soft, but man, is that back leg opening right here. Oh, and this one on me is starting to tighten. I'm working with it. So here I am. You see? See how I'm doing a little bit of a hyperextension? Yeah. My tummy's tight. My shoulders are down. I've got the weights. But I'm pushing my hip forward with a straight back leg. Yes, I am. And then I come back. Okay, now we're going to fold. I don't have the chair here. So now I'm going to go a little deeper. I still have my medium carries. I'll say that. So whatever is medium for you. This is 10 pounds. This is 10 pounds. So if you just have your weights and you don't have bags that have that, or you don't have 2-gallon jugs, which I would highly suggest you do, you get that fixed up. It doesn't cost one thing. See how I put my weights down here? I put my carries down. I'm just going to rest my hands here, and then I'm going to bring my butt down just as far as I feel I can. Way down there. Take big breaths. Drop your shoulders. Come on, get your butt down. Get your butt down. Use your hands on them, on your carries or on your weights if you need to. Come down with your butt. Come down. Come down. Okay, now go into the heels and come up. So it's a folding. I want you to be very good at folding. See this? So, and somebody watching this might say, well, you're not getting down there too far. And I would say, I am going down as far as I feel I can go. Then I'm coming up in a smooth, controlled fashion. And this knee will only let me go down a certain amount. And those with knees that are replaced, you know very well what I'm talking about. Anybody else's opinion don't matter because they don't know how it feels. So I'm going to come down. If I can fold to here, I'm going to fold to here. If I can get down a little further and do it on a regular basis, I'm going into my heels right now. but I'm coming way down here as far as I can. I'm gonna hang out there, then I'm gonna go into the heels, then I'm gonna come back. Then I'm gonna go into what I started with. A T, palms up, thumbs back, drop shoulders, big breath. Come up to a Y, so it's right there. See that? Gonna come back down to the T, gonna come to the W. Gonna go right here. Now I'm gonna add the range. I'm gonna come over the back of my head and pat myself on the back right here. My elbow should be pointing up. Gonna bring my other hand under and try to find my fingertips. And if I can't find them, then I make note of that. Okay? I bring it back down and around. I just say, oh, I didn't quite feel my fingers then. See? Then I'm going to take this one. I'm going to go over the back of my head. And what am I going to do? Number one, don't lean your head excessively forward. Keep your head back. Okay, pat yourself on the back. Bring the other hand up and try to find those fingers. Okay? So this is a great test of shoulder mobility. What do you do with your head? Take a big deep breath, drop your shoulders, then you come back down and around. So of course, I'm gonna have problems with this one. I'm not quite there, I'm almost there. This is my shoulder that gives me trouble. So I'm gonna note that and I'm gonna keep working on that. And how do we work on it? We do what we did on Wednesday with that bar, remember that? So we took this down like this, we took this down like this. I'm pretending I'm holding a bar. We did this. So if you don't have a bar, fine. If you have a T-shirt, a tea towel, just grab it. And right in the middle of our strength work, we're gonna do some shoulder mobility training. See this? Now, let me just add this. When you're doing a workout like we're doing today, which we're doing a lot of body loading, light loading, carries. That's the watchword for today. But I'm gonna go to one. I'm gonna tax while I'm doing my shoulder mobility work, I'm gonna tax my balance system. And what am I gonna do? Do I want you to fall? No. But you're gonna feel a little off balance. So instead of freaking out, just bend your knee and lightly have your toe down. But if you do that, don't lock this one. Keep that knee soft, okay? That makes you engage your muscles. Why do I keep yelling at you and ragging at you to soften up your joints? Because when you lock them, you are not really getting good muscle activation, okay? You're just locking your joint upon itself. There's a few moves in some sports that you need to do that, but not now. Then I'm gonna take my tea towel and I'm gonna go back behind my head. And I'm gonna hold just with a toe tap on one side. Then I'm gonna bring that hand down to the other side. See how I'm holding it? And I'm bringing the hand back to the back part of my neck. And then I switch. So if I'm gonna balance, I'm gonna very lightly tap my toe. And I'm gonna come down and back with my hands. I'm gonna try my best not to take my chin way down, okay? And do that a couple of times. This is a great way to do one-legged challenges, doing some shoulder rotations and mobility. So once you've done this and this a couple of times, okay? You can do this with a bar, you can do it with a tea towel, you can do it with a t-shirt, anything that you can get in your hands, okay? Okay, and I'm going to now just take this and go back behind, go way over here, And so when I'm here, my elbow should be pointing straight up. Then I bring it down across my face. See, the elbow comes down across my face. Then I come down. Then I go around, and this one comes up across my face. Then it goes up over my head. The elbow is pointing up, and then it comes behind. See that? Then I bring the other one around and across the face. You get it. Then you come around here. So if you have shoulder issues, I'm telling you, one of your first orders of business is to get your shoulders mobile so they don't hurt when you go into a normal, functional range for your shoulders, okay? So when you're doing some carries and you're putting quite a load on those shoulders, you need to do some mobility breaks, and that's what we're doing right now, okay? So then I'm gonna go side to side, and I'm gonna do a pendulum. And I'm gonna do some motion pendulums. So I'm not doing this against gravity now, I'm hip hinged. See, I'm hip hinged. And I'm gonna go up and around like I'm trying to draw a circle. Half circle, half circle. I'm not lifting. I'm gonna go side to side. I'm gonna go back and back and back and back. These are soft. Push your butt back. Drop your shoulders so that your back in this position actually gets stronger. You don't round your back here. Push into the heels. Then you go back and back, back and back as far as you can, and then up and around, up and around, up and around. Tight tummy, tight tummy, tight tummy. Push back into your heels. Push into your heels. Rib cage up, rib cage up. Then you come here and you come up. Okay? Now then, we are, oh, time flies when you're having fun. Okay, now we're ready for the heavy carries for the last 3 or 4 minutes. So here's my carries. I have them here all the time. They fit very well under something. And just take them out. And if nothing else, walk front to back, side to side, and then hang on to them and try to do that tapping. Okay? But be close to a wall. So when you drop them, it's not very far to drop. So what am I picking up now? Well, number one, I have one bag that's a very heavy duty bag. This is kind of like a vinyl, heavy vinyl type bag. Okay? That's number one. Number two, there's approximately 35 to 40 pounds right there. Okay? When I go to pick that sucker up, I do not do what about 95% of people do when they go to pick up something that's heavy on one side. And this is all the time I see this with people working in the garden or in their yard. They bend at the waist and they pick this up, and it's only on one side, and they think they can correct themselves. Don't do that. Okay, here I am. I'm going to pick up some heavy here. I'm going to hip hinge. Drop my shoulders. I'm going to test it out. Oh yeah, that's heavy. I'm right here. I don't have my feet in here narrow. I'm wide with my feet. I push back. I keep it in here close. Now when I come up, I push into my heels. Oh my goodness, that move done in that way just now really made my back and all the back extensors get stronger, and it did not hurt my back. It did not hurt my hip. It did not hurt my knee. Push into the heels. Keep your chin tucked. Press and keep your shoulders down. Then I'm going to bring it right here to the middle. I'm going to share the load. I'm going to go wide. I'm going to push my butt back. And I'm going to pull it right up here. And I'm going to bring her down. I'm going to pull it right up here. I'm going to bring her down. I'm going to pull it. Bring it down. And pull it. And bring it down. Then I'm going to go to the other side. Right there. Come in a little. I'm going to put it down by pushing my butt back, keep my chin tucked. Then I'm going to go push into my heels, get it close to me, and come up. So, making your all your muscles, your legs, your hips, your back, your shoulders, pull against this kind of a one-sided carry. I can't even go into all the physiological benefits of picking up a heavy one-sided object, moving it to the other side, putting it down, pulling it up, other side, put it down. See what I'm doing? See, this isn't what you call complicated. You do this every day when you go out and you just do normal work. It's just that the movement patterns that we have all set up when we're doing work and we're focused on getting the job done, we don't think about how we're working. I'm just encouraging you in this workout today to just give it some thought. See this? Yeah, and I might keep working at this. We've run out of time, but I want you to think about how those joints from your neck, your shoulders, your back, your hips, your knees, down to your feet have to work at this one move. One-sided carry, heavy loaded. Yeah. And then you can take all your shoes with you when you go home. So you don't have to come back to get the other bags. You can take them right out the door with you because you're so strong. Okay. Okay, I think we're done.